Hey, Sooner football fans. This is your Sooner football fans podcast. You got Terry and Rob here. Boomer up.
Boomer Terry.
And this is the best damn podcast on the prairie coming at you from the Podcast Palace in beautiful Norman, Oklahoma.
Where we are not affiliated with the University of Oklahoma.
But we do have eligibility left. You know where that came from, don't you?
No.
Well, Derek Baumgardner sent us a message. Say you haven't been on Facebook. I know you said that a little bit earlier. But Sooner Baum, as he's known on Twitter, he's been kind of off the Twitterverse and stuff, kind of like our good buddy Brett Burns out in Arizona.
Yeah. Taking
a hiatus. But he was talking to us, and he said, nobody has claimed the tagline, best damn podcast on the prairie.
All right.
So,
I like it.
Yeah. So it's not our idea. It's Sooner Baum's idea, and I think we're going to claim it. And so we're going to start hashtagging everything with best damn podcast on the prairie. And we're coming at you from the Podcast Palace in Norman. Like we said, hit the like button, subscribe, all that jazz, whatever you're listening to us on. Thank you, Sooner Baum, Derek, man, for the idea. It wasn't our idea. It came from somebody else. We're not being arrogant. We are following our fans.
Yeah, we're just doing a little rasp.
Derek's, he's a fan, but he's a good friend too. So, so we have claimed that. Also, you need to make sure and watch us on. Check out our YouTube channel Thursday nights from Louie's. Last week, I meant to get the video out. Let's just say when I got home from Louie's, I was in no shape to produce a video, and we had plans for the weekend, and I was running behind, and I never got to put it out because we had Holzhammer on talking about Texas. Kind of runs past putting it out once we get up, but I will eventually put it out. So Holzhammer, I haven't reached out to you. Sorry, I didn't get it out there yet, but I will.
Terry, they also need to catch us on the Netflix original QB1, where we're going to be talking about Spencer Rattler and the situation that he was in high school.
As soon as we find out the episode number, we will let you guys know. It should be coming out in August. I've been doing some research looking, and we know that Last Chance U just came out, and usually QB1 is a month after that.
Have you watched that yet?
I've watched the first episode and a half.
Well, we can talk about that later because I've finished it up. So.
Yeah. So
also, people need to come out to UCLA game with us.
Tailgate Connect.
Tailgate Connect with Dan Donnelly.
Yep, the Tailgate Ninja, as we like to call him. He is hosting a tailgate. We will have further information on what lot and everything else, but go to www.tailgateconnect.com, go to buy, hit the buy button, select the home game, which would be UCLA, select the opponent, which would be Oklahoma, select the type. It is DTH 40. The cost is $40. Okay.
And for that $40, what do they get?
They get all the food and drink they can handle from 11 o'clock until 4 p.m., 1 hour before kickoff.
And when you do that, don't forget my tip.
Yeah, exactly. And one of David's buddies, I don't know the name of the place, but David's going to get it to me. We got him hooked up with Dan, and he has a whiskey bourbon distillery out in California. So they've gotten together. We're going to have some
tour.
No, they're going to have whiskey and bourbon at the deal. And knowing Dan, there will be Fireball and vodka.
Oh boy.
Too. But it is going to be, my understanding, it is family friendly.
Okay.
But there will be alcohol there. So it's kind of like ours. Ours is family friendly, but there is alcohol, and but also we'll be talking about this a little bit more. The Champ U barbecue is this weekend on Saturday, which means the Champ U Fan Feast. The Sooner football fans
Saturday night
gathering is Saturday night, 7 p.m.
at
Louie's on Campus Corner.
Louie's on Campus Corner. You cannot miss it.
And the University of Oklahoma football team will have a bunch of recruits in this weekend. 4-star. We are going to have a bunch of 4-star fans, and we'll go over the list later on in the podcast, so make sure.
Me and Terry are blue chips, though.
Yeah, we're blue chips. We're not 4 stars. We're blue chips. And I know we told everybody last week that we were going to have Brandon Drum on for today's podcast, but Brandon's son's football practices changed. And if you guys follow Brandon on Twitter and like him, or friends on Facebook with him, his son is the next up and coming Baker Mayfield. He's pretty good from everything I've seen and stuff. But he's got football practice tonight, so we've rescheduled to next Tuesday. And Mike, say his last name,
Rigolato.
Mike Rigolato, from What's Brewing podcast, the UCLA podcast.
We had him on last year.
We had him on last year before the game. We're going to do a couple of them with him, but we couldn't get times because, they're 2 hours behind us. He doesn't realize you and I are old men.
Right.
And he wanted to do a podcast at our bedtime.
Right.
So we have rescheduled with him. We're going to get together on Sunday afternoon. So that podcast, a UCLA podcast, UCLA/Sooner podcast, will drop on Monday morning. So, and then we'll have Brandon on. It'll drop on Wednesday morning. So that's what we have coming up for you.
So What's Brewing, they want to do one like before the season starts, and then they want to do one game week?
Yep, game week.
Nice.
And I think
you're going to talk trash?
They didn't last year.
There's some good guys, though.
Yeah, and I think they're going to meet up with us. Scotty's supposed to be getting, I know we haven't talked to him recently about it, but he's going to find us a popular hangout for our Thursday night at Louie's. We'll do it out in California.
Nice.
And I think Mike's going to try to work it out to come and do our YouTube video with us.
That'd be cool. He better wear his UCLA stuff, too.
Yeah. So, anyway, let's get into a little bit of talk. First off, Rob, how was your weekend? Anything exciting happen?
No, I guess not. I can't recall anything, so.
Does that mean it was a good weekend or just a average kickback?
Man, I'm telling you, if I don't have to do anything, if I can just lay out at the pool, I'm okay with it. So,
well, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. You are pretty tan. You're like, looking like Stallone or.
Well, I mean, they're not quite as tall as I am, but no, I do. I really enjoy. I just take a book out there and lay out at that pool, and when you take pictures of girls when you're out there, they call you a stalker. But there's two pools, so she could have went to the other one.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
exactly.
It's her fault.
She was the one who. Well, like I said, Teresa and I, the lovely Teresa and I, went out to Lake El Reno for the Smoke on the Water Outlaw Boat Races.
And how was that?
It was fantastic.
Yeah?
Okay, first off, have you ever been to boat races?
I have never been.
Have you ever been to drag races?
I haven't even been to a tractor pull.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm behind here. I know I'm from Oklahoma. I got to get with this stuff.
Yeah. Have you ever been out to Thunder Valley?
I actually have been out there one time.
Okay. Have you ever seen any Top Fuel
I
cars?
have not.
Okay. Well, first, outlaw drag boat racing is kind of like going out to Thunder Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Except they're on water.
So it's just a straight deal. There's no turning?
Yeah.
Because that'd be what I'd want to do.
You'd want to turn or go straight?
No, I want to go straight.
Go straight. And they have everything from regular type boats. I don't know, you know me. I'm not a mechanic or a gearhead or anything like that. But they have everything from kind of normal boats to Top Fuel.
Wow.
And
so somebody's out there racing their Bayliner?
Yeah. No,
the bass boat in there?
No, they don't have the bass boats. These guys that build it, they spend a lot of time and money. Okay. It's a lot of fun for them. But, my buddy Mike that lives out in Memphis that, grew up with, we haven't met him yet, but
I've seen him a couple times.
Yeah.
His picture anyway.
Yeah, but we, when he came into town, we hung out with him and his sister and her husband, his sister's Susan and her husband Hass, and we got to meet.
Did you say
them.
Hass like H-A-S?
H-A-S-S, yes, I did.
Interesting.
Interesting.
That may be the first time I ever heard that.
Yeah, well, his name is Harrison Hass. Okay. Everybody calls him Hass.
Well, that's a little different.
Yeah, it's a little different, but
My name's Forrest Gump, and people call me Forrest Gump. Sorry.
But they have a race team. And, I see he posted on Facebook about a month ago about the smoke on the water, and I just hit him up. It's like, hey, are you racing out there? I thought I might run out there and come see. And Susan sent us a message. You guys should come out, spend the weekend, have a good time. You'll have a lot of fun. So we're like, okay. So I took off work Friday. We got out there Friday night, and it may be one of the best weekends I've had, and I don't know how long.
Cool.
And
something to do out there.
Yeah, Susan and Hass were great hosts. Me and Teresa stayed at a hotel, but, I expected, that I'd, eat some food and everything else. I didn't have to cook anything. I didn't have to go anywhere.
Didn't have to mow anything.
Didn't have to mow anything. Susan kept everything rolling. And there was a group of people that were there with them from, Missouri, Arkansas, and Virginia and Oklahoma. And they're all boat racers. Oh. Okay. And so Friday night was kind of pre-stuff. Got to meet everybody sitting around talking. Saturday, we watched some races. Haas didn't get to race because wind was too high for the top fuel. Water was too rough. And so they had to do all their racing on Sunday. But watching the regular boat races, they're pretty fast sitting there, and then you get out there with like Hass's boat, which is a
top fuel.
So
it's bad to the bone.
Yeah, it's bad to the bone. It's like boom, and it's gone.
It's gone. Huh? All right.
Yeah. So I'm watching. I'm like, holy crap! And Mike, Susan's brother, sends me a message. So have you rode one of them 100-mile-an-hour boats yet? And I was like, no, nor shall I. Right.
Yeah, I'm kind of out on that. Give me some skis behind it, maybe. No.
But I mean, it's amazing what these guys are able to do in those boats. Okay, now, not just watching Haas and everybody else race because they were fast. I met some of the coolest people I believe I've ever met in my life. They were a lot like Sooner fans. You know how we Sooner fans, people that come to the tailgate and that are coming Saturday night to Louie's, that we become close friends with. It's family. You consider them family, and that's this group of people. Okay. First off, also now I do have racing attire.
Racing paraphernalia.
I have racing paraphernalia.
Boy, it's getting real now.
Yeah.
You're gonna grow a mullet.
Hass's race team. Hass's race team is called Hate to Wait Racing.
Hate to wait.
Hate to wait.
Yeah, hey, that's pretty snappy.
Yeah, and if you would, when you meet Haas, because you probably eventually will.
That'd be cool.
He's a fun guy. He's hilarious, but you can tell he's impatient, and you can tell, especially being around him with the boats, he's ready to roll. But the first person I met was a fellow named Irvin Capps. You ever heard of Irvin Capps?
No.
Okay.
Is it like I'm a bussa cap?
It's like. He is maybe the most popular person I've ever met outside of football. Okay. And I knew, they told me about him. They introduced me. Yes. Okay. He's way more popular than you, Rob. Oh. But somebody is a legend when older people bring the younger people to meet Irvin.
Oh.
Okay. And I don't know the ins and outs, but Irvin designed race boats, built them.
Built them from the ground up?
Yeah. And the bodies and everything is a legend in it. Okay. Oh. He's 77 years old, somewhere in there.
All right.
And he now no longer, I think he builds and helps build. I'm not sure about all that, but now he decided to race. And I think he was like 72 when he started to race.
So 77, and he's racing top fuel.
He's not in top fuel. He's the one right below top fuel.
My goodness.
Okay.
You talk about living life. He's one of those guys that when he finally goes to the grave, he's going to be sliding in sideways, right. And he's going to go, ooh, that was a ride.
And he is so cool about so many things. One was all these race teams, and rightfully so, they're busy. They're running around everywhere. All of them have golf carts, and most of them are, fancy golf carts.
Probably looks a lot like their boat.
Yeah, there was one Hummer one running around, But Irvin, he runs around on about 1972 Schwinn bicycle with a basket on the front of
it. Are you kidding me?
And he has a boat trailer, and then he has a bike rack on the back of his truck that he puts his bike on. Everybody's screaming around, and you see Irvin take off on his bike, and Irvin comes riding back up if he needs to go somewhere, which was the coolest thing. And to watch him drive a boat, it was amazing. But when it's hot sitting out there on the lake, and with that engine and stuff, and I'm standing next to Susan on the VIP dock, by the way, and we're watching Irvin come up, and he has to wait. He's in line to race, and all of a sudden, we're about 600 yards away, and all of a sudden, I see Irvin, this little deal pop out, poop, and an umbrella pops up. So Irvin's sitting out there in this high-flying, high-speed race boat with an umbrella for shade, and it was a multicolored umbrella, which, again, was one of the coolest thing. But I watched him, Rob, run 4 races back-to-back and beat the first 3. Run the 660 yards, turn around, come back, get up to the line, beat the next guy, come back, get in line, beat the next guy, come back, and the last race he got beat by, I think they said about 2 yards, if that much.
Really?
So, but he's a legend, and it was great to meet him. He was hilarious. And then there was Kevin Sr. and Kevin Jr., and Kevin Sr.'s wife was Judy, and Judy is a hot mess. Kevin Sr. is pretty much, the same. And Junior and his wife or fiance, were they're great people. They're from Virginia. They sat around and swap stories. And then there was George and Jack. Okay, now both of them older men, really cool, laid back, knew everything they know more about drag racing, boat, and car than Rob, you and I know about anything collectively. Okay.
All right.
Now, I don't remember Jack's last name, but you've heard of Pro Mod drag racing cars.
Of course.
Jack's who created them.
Jack Force? No, that's John Force.
No, I don't know his last name, but
he created them?
Yeah, he was. There's an article that Ass and Susan are going to send, but I don't know all the ins and outs, but he was that. And then there was Raymond, I believe was his name. I think that was his name. I don't know what he does, but he's like a genius. And
so like me.
Yeah, and builds propulsion systems, okay?
Okay, I can't do that. I can jump down and walk, though, at the same time.
And I'm pretty sure really what he builds is like warp drives for boats. Okay, wow. That's what it looks like.
Okay, all right.
But I'm telling you, sitting around talking with these guys, I'm not a gearhead. I don't, never have been. I respect it. I like to watch stuff that goes fast, but I don't like to go fast. You've rode with me in a car. I don't drive fast.
You drive like a grandpa,
and I'm proud of that.
You got one of those insurance things plugged into your. Don't mess with my discount.
Don't mess with my discount. But just hearing them talk, and you could hear the knowledge that these guys have, and they want to share it with people. I mean, if kids came around, younger guys, it's a community. There's younger racers out there, and these guys were talking to them, and it was just amazing to sit there and watch.
Sounds like you had a good time.
Oh, man, and it was good food, good friends, cold beer in the evenings, not while everybody was racing. And just, I'm looking, we're going down to Susan and Hass's house. They have a big, end of race year party down there, and they have these guys come out on Texoma, and they just race all weekend. So we're going to go down and check that out. They just do it for fun. It's just a big shindig.
Well, very cool.
But so I highly recommend you guys going out to, next year to the Smoke on the Water. It was pretty cool.
That sounds like a weed store.
a weed houseboat.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's funny you say that, because there's some of these places out there have the stupidest names, but the weed houses. But not going to correlate weed to the races. But I wanted to say thank you to Susan and Hastep. guys, I really appreciate you guys showing us such love, and also to Irvin, Kevin Sr., Judy, Kevin Jr., and Heather, George, Jack, Raymond. Thanks for sharing your part of your life with me, because it was I should have had a dunce cap and just sat in the corner, and that was my phone, Rob. And just because I couldn't talk about anything race-wise, Well, now, when we talk about other stuff, we had good talks.
We had talked about Sooner football, though. You could have hung in there.
Yeah. But anyway, that was my weekend. Thanks, guys. Let's get on to some Sooner football, because I know the fans are out there going, what the hell are you going to talk about football-wise? I want to start off. I saw a post on Facebook today, and I'm a believer, Rob.
In the defense?
No.
Oh.
Good Lord, no, I'm not a believer in the defense. Terry. It's called the JH factor.
The Jalen Hurts factor.
The JH factor, the Jalen Hurts factor, but we're just going to call it the JH factor. Do you know why it's called the JH factor?
Yes.
What?
It's because, no, I don't know.
In 1985, the University of Oklahoma Sooners won the national championship with a quarterback named
Jamel Holloway, JH.
In the year 2000, the University of Oklahoma won a national championship with a quarterback named Josh Heupel.
Josh Heupel. Yes,
JH.
JH. Oh, my goodness.
Every time Oklahoma...
Who put this out here because they
I don't genius. Know. But the last two national championships that the University of Oklahoma has won, the initials have been JH.
I'm jumping on this bandwagon.
I am jumping on this bandwagon.
It's like drinking the Kool-Aid, though.
Yeah, but it's not a defense Kool-Aid. It's a national championship Kool-Aid.
Yeah, but you know what? For that factor to kick in, we got to have to play some defense.
JH factor, the Jalen Hurts, the JH factor is going to come into effect for this football season.
Wow.
I believe
Jamel Holloway,
Josh Heupel,
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts.
Man, this would be like weird. Okay? This is like when you're watching those videos on the YouTube or whatever, and stuff moves on its own. That's the same thing.
That's the same
category.
Yeah. I mean, it would be interesting.
Would you be freaked out a little bit?
Yeah, now I would. Now that I know that,
yeah.
It would be like, But again, reading stuff this week and then the past week, we're getting closer to the season, and everybody is that Oklahoma defense talk is creeping in. Number one, most people believe the Oklahoma offense is going to dip. I do not. Do you?
Nope.
I do. I know we got 4 new offensive linemen. I'm just telling you, it's the same as last year. Everybody said, if you think Oklahoma's going to be as good without D.D. Westbrook and Baker Mayfield, you're crazy.
Let's go further back than that.
Yeah.
How about Mixon, P. Ryan?
Right. And they lost all this stuff.
Yeah.
They lost P. Ryan, Mixon, Baker, D.D. They're not going to be this good.
Well, let me say this though, while we're talking about that. We lost Mixon, P. Ryan, right?
Mm-hmm.
What a fantastic tandem they were for us.
Right.
I don't think, having said that, I don't think that Brooks Kennedy and
Kennedy Brooks.
Yeah. I don't know why I keep doing that. And Trey Sermon are as good as those two. I don't think the tandem is as good, but they're good enough.
Right.
How's that?
Yeah.
Good enough.
And
yeah.
the receiving core, I'm telling you, is Jalen Hurts will have more targets offensively. That includes even in the backfield and at receivers than Baker and Kyler had combined.
He's got more targets than an archery range.
Yeah. Good one, Rob.
Thank you.
But
pulled it right out of the air.
The talk now nationwide is that it's going to dip, and
well, even if it does,
there's not going to be a defense to handle that dip. So Oklahoma, you're not going to see them. Blah 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 blah.
It won't be that big of a dip. Let's just say it does dip.
Yeah.
And instead of scoring 55 on you, we put 45 on. We're still beating you.
Yeah, we're still beating you. So that's the talk that's kind of coming up, and we'll get more into that type of stuff as we get closer to the season. Is that people now, and henceforth, Terry's Kool-Aid packets are still in the kitchen drawer.
Huh.
Rob's is.
I'm drinking it. I am drinking it. Number one, because I want to.
Yeah.
Well, and I like Kool-Aid. It's pretty good. But the sugar-free kind now.
The sugar-free kind. Yeah.
But you know what? We're a little bit better. We got to be, because we were dead last year. But a lot of people have taken that seriously, starting with Neville Gallimore right up front.
Yeah.
He's already said, or I guess they've already said he's dropped 30 pounds, but
it's faster.
But he's faster and stronger than he was the year before. So you start there, and you have leaders that come in and make people better. And I think we have that with K9 and some of the other guys that Colin talked about last week and stuff. So I'm drinking some Kool-Aid. I'm not going to lie. I'm drinking it.
Yeah.
And you know what? After we, if we give up 50 points to South Dakota State,
you're just throwing the Kool-Aid out the window.
You can laugh at me if you want to.
Speaking of which, you brought him up.
Okay.
The watch lists are out for the season awards. Football ain't even started, and they already got watch lists out. So, but we're going to go over the watch list.
Cool, let's do it.
You said K9. Kenneth Murray is on 3 watch lists for awards.
Wow.
The Becknerick Award,
which is the nation's best linebacker.
Best defensive player. The Butkus Award,
which is the best linebacker.
Yeah. And the Nagurski,
which is the best linebacker.
which is the best defensive player.
I figure I was, I went to, the first year, I might as well go to third.
Does that surprise you that Kenneth, K9 is on? Because he really, he's been adequate and good. He hasn't been, or people thinking this is who, good Lord, he looks the part.
Terry, I didn't realize, I thought he had a great year last year, and I didn't realize that he was out. Now, I didn't watch him a whole lot, just him, but apparently people are saying that he was out of position a lot.
Yeah.
And he was part of the problem on the defense. I just didn't know that. I thought he played great.
But he made 782,000 tackles, especially.
5 tackles in the Army game alone.
Yeah.
But, then, people are saying, well, yeah, he was out of position and stuff a lot. So that really kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah.
So I kind of expected him to be there until I heard all that stuff. So it's good that he's there, even in lieu of all that. I guess.
Well, another defensive player is on a watch list. Neville Gallimore.
What do they call him? The marauding Frenchman? No, the something Frenchman.
Is it, or Canadian?
Is he Canadian?
Yeah, he's Canadian.
Oh. The galloping, no, I don't know.
I don't know what it is. Somebody else. I don't know. I don't have the
slightest idea what you're talking
about.
Or somebody knows. Somebody's listening going, hey, it's this. What is wrong with you? It's this.
But he is up for the Outland Trophy Award, which is the best interior lineman. So that says something. They're expecting some great things out of, some big things out of Neville. Do you know what I think of every time they say Neville Gallimore? Do you remember the Neville brothers, the group, the singers? The one guy had the big wart on his face.
No.
And he had a voice like that. He kind of sounded like one of the Bee Gees.
No, I don't recall that.
Every time they say Neville Gallimore, I see that guy's face.
So unfortunately for him, when you come out on lists like that, automatic you're a double team. So he's going to get, he's definitely getting tackle guard every play on him.
Yeah. So we do actually have 2 defensive guys on watch lists. Let's see.
Which is a change from the last several years.
72 years? No. We got, let's see, who do I want to go to first? Let's go with a big Creed Humphrey, all 6'5", 315 pounds of him.
The small guy on the line.
Yeah.
He's a sophomore, right?
Yes.
A true sophomore. He didn't redshirt, did he?
Yeah, he's a redshirt sophomore.
Oh, okay.
He redshirted his first year.
Okay.
He is up for the Remington Trophy, which is the best center. You remember Mike Remington?
Played for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Nope, he played for the Bengals, but he played for Nebraska.
Okay. No,
dude had arms as big around as me.
Oh.
Dude was massive.
All right.
But the Remington is the best center, and of course the Outland Trophy as well, best interior lineman.
Okay.
Grant Calcaterra.
Wait, let me guess. Best tight end?
What's the name of it?
It's the I don't know.
Mackey Award.
Oh, I knew that. Dang it.
And he's also up for the Bolitnikoff Award, which is
the best kicker. Just joking.
Best receiver.
Best receiver. I knew what that one was. Just because CD won it a couple years ago.
Yeah. But all 6'4" of him is up for 2 awards.
Nice.
Speaking of CD, he is up for the Maxwell Award, which is the best all-around player.
You know what? I said CD. I meant DD.
DD.
Yeah.
It is weird. I just realized that we had a DD and a CD. But he's up for the Maxwell and the Blitnikoff Award.
Okay.
Now, one last one. Guess who it is?
It's Jalen Hurts.
And he is up for the Maxwell Award, which is the best all around. But no mention of the Heisman.
Huh. No mention of the Heisman.
Yeah. Maybe
he's winning that. I'm telling you, he's winning it.
Maybe they're not, doing the Heisman watch list quite yet because it's too early in this.
They never not do that. They put it out the year in 2 years. This is going to be the Heisman list.
So that's the watch lists that are out there, guys. Got some Sooners out there that will probably be getting some accolades at the end of the year.
Yeah. And you know what? We may have more than one person.
I hope K9 and Neville get a couple of them, because if they get some stuff, guess what? That means their defense is better. That means all that Kool-Aid was worth it, Rob.
Well, we may have more than one person at the Downtown Athletic Club there in New York City.
Yeah.
At the end of the year at the Heisman. Depending. I mean, if we said this before, one receiver is not going to be able to pull down enough receptions. There's just too many targets.
Yeah.
For one receiver to really shine out like that, but we'll see.
Yeah. So, moving on, I thought since this is Champ U Barbecue Week, and for those of you who don't know what Champ U Barbecue is, it is a big giant barbecue. That's it. No, that the University of Oklahoma football team puts together for recruits.
For all the recruits there and all the guys that are there now, right?
Yeah, they used to have it at the, Bob Stoops estate. Is that what it's called, or castle, or
it's the Hogwarts mansion out there that Bob Stoops lives in.
Yeah. Oh, with its moat and gates and everything. But I wanted to go into what people are expecting out of last year's attendees.
Wow.
To the Champ U Barbecue before we get into this year's attendees. Okay. Now, let's face it. Offensive and defensive line for the most part. Well, for sure, offensive line. We're not going to talk about any of those because they're going to redshirt.
Okay.
Offensive linemen and most your interior defensive linemen redshirt. But that may not be the case here.
Hey, before you get into that, you remember the guy that snuck into the Champ U fan feast last year?
I didn't know.
So when recruits come up, they just report in at this gate.
Yeah.
And they just grab a jersey and, apparently this kid was just walking by and they were like, "Are you coming in?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm coming in." And they're like, "Well, what number?" And he's like, "Just whatever." And so they gave him the jersey.
Oh, wow.
And he spent the whole day in there. And then somebody walked up and go, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm just, I was just walking by."
Gary from Bob's next door neighbor.
It's pretty hilarious, actually.
But anyway, let's start off with one of the wide receivers, Trajan Bridges, 6'1", 184 pounds. Okay,
and he can run like the wind bullseye.
Yeah, and I'm getting this from James Hill off of TFB, the Football Brainiacs. This was off of his stuff on Monday. And, when we want to go to people who know about what's happening on the team, that's one of our go-to
James Hill,
folks.
absolutely.
Bridges needs to get a little bit bigger and stronger, but his talent is unmistakable, and there's a great chance he will play this year and play in a big way.
Nice.
I think everybody expected that.
Well, if they got him in there working with CD and not DD, he's gonna get stronger.
Yeah.
CD is a freak.
Next one, defensive back Jeremiah. Is it Cradell?
Yeah, however you want to pronounce that.
5'11", 198, has been one of the best freshmen on campus, and the coaches can't wait to find what he does in training camps. He's pushing Buki at the nickelback, and he could be a factor at the safety position as well.
Nice. I like to hear that.
That's defense.
Yeah. Well, coverage. I mean, good Lord.
Cornerback Jaden Davis, 5'10", 172, has been one of the biggest surprises in camp and has been very competitive all summer. He checked in bigger than they expected, and he's been one of their best covers all summer.
And he's the one that can fly too, right? Or is that...
I'm not sure.
Okay.
OU has experienced corners returning, and Davis may redshirt this year, but also OU needs the depths. so he could be a candidate to play.
Yeah, he's probably on the
Yeah.
standby.
Yeah. Wide receiver Jaden Hazelwood. What do you think is going to happen with Hazelwood?
I think he's going to play. They're not redshirting any of those guys.
He was in here at OU in the spring and proved to be exactly who they thought he was. He was who we thought he were. And that's a big-time receiver talent. He has a great summer and will fight for playing time in camp and stands to play a big role for the Sooners.
Nice.
Defensive end Marcus Hicks. Hicks has been very impressive with his weight work and his work ethic. OU has little depth at defensive end, but with senior Kenneth Mann, 6'3", 269, out possibly until the Texas game, Hicks could play a role in the center for the Sooners at defensive end this year.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
6'3", 268 pounds. That's a big old boy.
Yeah, but he's also a national champion wrestler. You don't mess with those guys.
Yeah. Running back Marcus Major has been good in summer workouts. OU is loaded. He'll probably redshirt. Safety Jamal Morris, 6'2", 192. The safety position is wide open going into camp. Quarterback Spencer Rattler.
It ought to be wide open. Spencer Rattler.
He has been as advertised. He is in the battle for the starting quarterback job this year.
Is he, though?
According to James Hell, he is.
Well,
and if he doesn't win he will likely redshirt this year, but he will travel and no matter what, play some this year.
Nice. Well, he can play 4 games,
Yeah, 4
right?
games, yeah.
So they might redshirt him and play Mordecai?
Yeah. They'll probably play. I bet they'll play him as much as they can in 4 games and then set him down because he's going to be it next year. Defensive lineman Corey Roberson. Corey Robertson. Sorry, Corey. 6'4", 273 pounds. Roberson has impressive this summer, and OU feels they have a player that can play both defensive end and defensive tackle. He will continue to grow and become a defensive tackle, but at this stage, he can play both. They will try to redshirt him, but provide valuable depth all year long at the defensive line if needed.
Well, I think it's needed, but that's just me.
Yep. Austin Stogner, one of my favorites. He was impressive this spring and has proven that he is good enough to play as a true freshman. His biggest problem is
Grant Calcaterra
and Lee Morris.
Lee Morris. Oh, yeah.
Lee Morris catches the ball, he scores a touchdown.
Well, you know what, though? Lee Morris is not – he's not your prototypical size for a tight end. I mean, he's still pretty good size receiver, right?
Yeah.
But for a tight end, I don't know. Maybe he's gotten stronger, but he was a little bit undersized, I think, for a tight end.
Yeah.
But all he does is catch touchdowns.
Yeah. Look for OU to travel and play Stogner, but try to redshirt him with just playing him in 4 games. So that's not surprising, but I still think he might play a little bit more than that. Theo Weiss came into camp this spring and showed that he's a big-time talent. Will go into training camp looking to earn playing time as a freshman, and the odds are he will be a factor with OU this year.
Who else you got?
Outside linebacker Joseph Wete, 6'4", 211. That's a big linebacker.
What's his name?
Wete, WTE, with a hyphen after.
And what's his?
Needs to be bigger and stronger, but he has proven to be very athletic.
Wait, how big is he?
6'4", 211 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Outside
when he says
linebacker.
bigger, he means thicker, I think. Because Lord have mercy, 6'4", that's a big boy.
They need to develop some players at the rushing position, and Wate is a guy that OU will take a strong look at. He'll be one of those freshmen who travels but only play in 4 games and redshirt this year.
All right.
Defensive end LaRon Stokes. Stokes had a great spring and has proven to be a very good player who will get major playing time this year. He's gotten bigger and stronger this spring and summer and will be a big factor this fall at defensive end. He's 6'4", 267 pounds. So that's 2 freshman defensive end that may be seeing some serious playing time this year.
I mean, you never like it when you know that freshmen are going to get a lot of PT because that just means you're thin.
Yeah, but you know what? I think a lot of these freshmen that we got in, especially the receiving corps, they're not your average freshman, Rob.
The receivers, I would agree.
Yeah.
The receivers are, and you know what? The defensive ends might be in the same category. I don't know.
Then the other one was offensive lineman R.J. Proctor, who came from OU as a grad transfer from Virginia. So he brings a lot of experience. Of course, he's probably going to be in the starting lineup. So
possibly, yeah.
But those were guys that were at the Champ U barbecue last year. Here's what we got coming up this year. Now they have, I'm only going to cover the 2020 because right now that's all we care about. But they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 guys from the 2021 class that are coming in. And they have 2, 4, 6 guys for 2022 class coming in. So they've got some guys a year and 2 years down the line.
Are they defensive players?
Well, the 2020, let's talk about 2020. Offensive lineman Noah Nelson. He's committed to OU. 6'8", 295 pounds.
Little guy, huh? Come here, little fella.
Okay, they're going to have a pig on a stick out on the side, and that's what he's going to be eating off of. Good Lord. 6'8", 295-pound offensive lineman from Gilbert, Arizona.
You know he's playing pro.
Yeah. Offensive lineman Nate Anderson. He is committed to OU. 6'5", 285 pounds out of Frisco, Texas.
Another little guy.
Big Andrew Rame, committed to Oklahoma a couple of weeks ago out of Broken Arrow. And our buddy, I think Brandon Drum broke that he was committed. 6'5", 285 pounds. These are guys that are seniors in high school, and this is how big they are right now.
I know. and I haven't seen film on any of the rest of them, but I did see film on Rame, and he's a big meanie.
Yeah.
He's just a big meanie head. So
offensive lineman Jonah Monheim. OU has offered him. He's 6'5", 280 pounds. So we got 4 offensive linemen, and the smallest one is 6'5", 280 pounds. The other 2 are 285, and one of them is 6'8".
We're going to need a big quarterback. I mean, Spence Rattler's going to need to grow some, I think.
So we got some offensive linemen coming in this weekend. Running back Seth McGowan, OU commitment out of Mesquite, Texas, 5'11", 215.
That's the 4-star guy, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. That's the only running back we got coming in for the 2020 class. Wide receiver Brian Darby. He's committed to OU, 5'11", 195 pounds.
If I'm a wide receiver, I might not.
Jalen Conyers, he's committed to Oklahoma out of Groover, Texas, 6'4", 220-pound tight end. Wide receiver, I'm going to say Rome Odunes. OU has offered him. He's 6'2.5" out of Las Vegas, Nevada. So we got some receivers and tight ends coming in. Athlete Devon Graham, committed to Oklahoma, 6'1", out of Keller, Texas. And athlete did I say we had a tight end, Jalen Conyers? Yes, I did. Athlete Mike Henderson, OU commitment out of Carrollton, Texas, 6'1", 235.
So does that mean corner or safety?
Yeah, usually your athletes are corners and safeties.
Or receivers.
Yeah. So, got some athletes coming in. And then we have linebacker Brendan Walker. He's committed to OU, 6'3", 230 pounds out of Oklahoma City. Edgerrin Cooper, he's committed, 6'1.5" out of Covington, Louisiana. Possibly will be here, it says. But first off, he needs to be at Oklahoma, and he needs to play because Edgerrin's a cool name.
Like Edgerrin James.
Yeah. So then they have JUCO guy, defensive tackle, Quay Mays. He's committed to West Virginia. He's 6'1", 290. And JUCO defensive end Justin Jackson. He's committed to Colorado. 6'3", 250, and Mays is out of Northwest Mississippi Community College, and so also with Jackson. So both of them are coming. So Oklahoma might be stealing some defensive JUCO. So it looks like they're going after a couple of JUCO guys and 2 linebackers. I don't know what is committed at Oklahoma. That's why we're going to have Brandon on. Still, to me, just doesn't seem like enough defensive players.
Well, definitely it doesn't. You know, when you're talking about the last defense in the league, we need,
Yeah. We need to get some stuff rolling on that side of the ball. And I think a lot of it is they just haven't seen Oklahoma defense. They don't know, you can sit here and tell them, you can show them film Washington State and all that stuff, but it's still.
After this year, when Grinch brings the defense up to a respectable level, then they're going to be like, okay, not only have they got the best offense in the nation, but the defense is good too. I'm going there.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's the case.
That's the case. Now, again, last year's spring game, 2018 spring game, had all the eyeballs jump out, and I think they had some over Champ U barbecue weekend.
I think so too.
And last year during Champ U barbecue, we had Sooner fans here at the house talking Sooner football, visiting and socializing. And we called it Champ U Fan Feast. Well, this year's Champ U Fan Feast has grown. And and we have moved it to Louie's on Campus Corner at 7 p.m. This Saturday the 27th, which goes right along with Champ U Barbecue. So we have a gathering of 4-star Sooner hopefuls on one side of town, and on the other side of town, we have a gathering of 4-star Sooner fans.
I think there's going to be some 5-stars there.
Yep, 4 and 5-star. We have from California, coming all the way in from California, Dan Donnelly, the Tailgate Ninja from Tailgate Connect. Cody Holzhammer, we all know Holzhammer.
Yep.
Demo, who's both of those are from Norman.
Yep.
Sooner Lisa's coming in from Tulsa. Adrian, you know her as the Beach Witch, is coming in from Houston, Texas. Lori Claiborne is coming in. It's Claremore, and it's where she lives at.
No.
What the heck?
It's Stonewall or Stone.
Well, but it's down by Claremore.
Stone Bluff, down by Tulsa somewhere. I don't know. Stone Ridge.
I think when you leave her house, to go to Tulsa, you got to go through Claremore. So it's Claremore.
All right, Claremore.
From Fort Worth, we got Jim Dillingham.
Big Jim.
From Guthrie, we got Claude Mills.
Claude the Man Mills.
Andrew Southard from Yukon. I believe he's from Yukon. Tattoo Baker is going to be here. He's from Parts Unknown. Tara, the Rabid Sooner.
Oh, yeah?
Portillo.
She's a good time.
Yeah.
She's hilarious.
She's coming in from Pauls Valley. Jennifer Roberts is going to be here from Oklahoma City, and Gina Wiley from Oklahoma City, and Denise France, I believe she's from Tulsa, is coming in.
And that's all the ones that we just know of.
That's all the ones that we have made direct invites to be there. It is open to anybody who wants to come. There are other people that have shown interest on Facebook and that we don't know that have said they're coming on Facebook.
But we're going to know them.
Yeah, we're going to know them, and we want to get to know them. So what we do ask, and what Louie has asked, is that we put the event out on our Facebook page, Sooner Football Fans on Facebook. Go to there. You'll see it's pinned to the top of our page. It's the event page. Click the going button if you're going, so they can have an idea of how many people are going to be there, so they can have the right amount of wait staff.
I'd say they probably better go ahead and bring a couple extra.
So we're not. If you don't go, you don't go to our Facebook page and go. It's not saying you can't come. Some people don't have a Facebook page, and you can't. And you can't do it on Facebook. Everybody is welcome. Because of the size of the crowd, folks, I want to make this clear, and we'll put it out on Twitter and Facebook. I did it on today. Almost all of our stuff, is always family friendly. Okay, we want families there, husbands, wife, kids, grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles. We are a family-friendly podcast. We have family.
Does that mean you're keeping all your clothes on?
Yeah. We are family-friendly. My grandkids come. People bring their kids to the tailgate. But because of the size of this crowd, Louie's, the restaurant side, isn't big enough. We're outgrowing our area that we normally do our stuff in Louie, so they're going to have to move us into the bar section, which is called into the big bar section, which is called Louie's 2. It's in the same location. They just call it Louie's 2 because it has a big has a bar area, and then it kind of has a big private room, but it's not private. It's just they have a pool table there and stuff. But it's the same place we did the spring game, but it is a bar, so therefore no one under 21 is allowed. And even though we're away from the bar, and it's kind of in a separate room, and there's a doorway, it's a big doorway. You just have to see it. It's still considered the bar, and they can't have anybody under 21 in there. So, unfortunately, you can't bring kids. Oh. If you do, you got to leave them on the other side of the wall, or anyone under 21. So, sorry about that, but this is becoming, it's gotten kind of big, and there's not a whole lot we can do about it. Either that, or we'll be sitting on each other's laps out in the restaurant side, and I'm not okay with that. How about you, Rob?
No. Well, no.
So, I got to take a drink of water. Entertain them, Rob.
Well, so that area can hold a lot of people, but the weather's so nice. If we have to spill outside, that's cool too.
Yeah.
And then I don't necessarily like that section because of the smoke. So
yeah.
If there's a group of people that go into the other back where we record, where we sit out,
and
that's fine too.
And also, right outside there's the patio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can go out on the patio. We could take over the place if we wanted. So
I think there's a good chance that there's going to be enough people there that you can just mingle around and just meet folks and
wear your favorite OU gear. Make sure you're donned in the crimson and cream.
Does that mean I got to wear my jersey?
Your number one Jalen Hurts jersey.
It's actually the jersey that I wore. No, it ain't. I was going to say the jersey I wore to the 2000 National Championship game, but it's not.
It's not.
No.
So it doesn't have any JH factor in it.
There's no. It's number 20.
Yeah. And speaking of that,
they don't sell big boy numbers, which I'm a little bit. I'm a little bit upset about it. I'm a little bit sour about it. I should get it like a 76 or 77, something like that. I didn't even wear 99, but whatever. Let's make it number 1 for all the little skinny punks.
Which I'm glad we kind of brought that up. I'm looking forward to the first game for a couple of reasons. So you football.
Yep.
But Tony from Alabama is coming into town for that game.
Who's Tony from Alabama?
She's one of the ladies on. I can't think of her last name. Thanks a lot, Rob.
Oh.
But she's on Twitter. She's sent us emails. I've talked to you about her before.
Okay.
And she, talks about our podcast on Twitter and stuff. But she's an Alabama fan, but she's a Jalen Hurts fan, so that makes her an Oklahoma fan as well now.
All right.
And she wants to see Jalen's first game. She's coming into town that weekend, and Teresa and I, and probably you'll probably be working, so you probably won't get but we're gonna take her around town on Saturday on Saturday and show her the stadium, show her sights, take her to the Mont. And she actually asked me, she said, I was only joking, but she asked me, she goes, should I wear my Jalen Alabama jersey? And I was like, sure. Nobody would have a...
People won't hate on her?
Yeah. Now, I said it might be different. It might be different if you wore a Tua jersey.
Maybe.
But
yeah, she may get a little bit, yeah.
But everybody will get the coalition here in Norman with, or the correlation here in Norman with the Jalen Hurts Alabama jersey. So,
well, they'll probably just think she's cheap and be like, hey, go buy an Oklahoma Jalen Hurts jersey or something. But
we're going to take her to the Mont and let her have some world famous chips and queso and the swirls.
The Mont Swirl?
The Mont Swirl.
I can only drink about half one of those before my tongue stuck to the roof of my mouth. So I'm kind of out on those deals, but.
But I don't know, we're going to take her down to Campus Corner, take her over to the stadium. Hopefully the Switzer Center will be open and we can nose in there this Saturday.
Go look at the Joe Moore Trophy.
Yeah, the Joe Moore Award. But I'm looking forward to that. Me and Teresa, I told her that I said, hey, I had to remind myself. I was like, oh, yeah, by the way, we have a Jeep. It has no tops on it, and when the doors won't be on it. Are you okay with that? So,
Well, yeah, you gotta know that up front. Don't
Yeah,
you?
I don't want to pull up and she go, no, I'm not riding with you guys. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I know Teresa is too. Meeting her and just spending time and let her, soak in. She's going to be at the tailgate too, so Sooner fans, when you're there, we'll get to enjoy her company as well. So I'm looking that's going to be a cool deal.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time. I think there's going to be at least one roughneck at the fan feast. So, and maybe more.
Yeah, there may be an older one at the fan feast too, if I can get a hold of
Well, there may be a current one and a little sis. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. I am really looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah.
We were looking forward to the little shindig we had at the house, but it quickly outgrew the house.
Well, those people, a lot of those people that you named off, they're just fun people to be around. Lori from Stonehenge or where she's from, Tara from down in Paul's Valley. I mean, they're just fun people to be around. I just crack up, my sides hurt from laughing.
We assume sooner Lisa is fun to be around. We really question her existence because she has said before she's going to come to the tailgate. She's going to do this.
Yeah.
So if you read her blog, she seems fun. We invited Trey Linda again, but she's in back in Washington D.C. on some business.
Oh, she's gone?
She'll be back, but she's had to be gone this weekend.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me. And Blinken isn't going to be there. He had a prior engagement, so
yeah, I'm still a little bit upset with Trey Linda though. So.
Why are you?
Well, because she said I look like a big bear, and I was like, oh, that's sweet. I appreciate that. And then it means something I don't want to talk about it, but I wasn't okay with it either. Just FYI, Trey Linda.
Yeah.
I got my eyes on you.
But we've been, we met Dan and we talked, but Dan was on the podcast. Dan is just a super guy, Jim and everybody that's coming, Demo is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Hilarious.
Tattoo.
He's a great kid.
Yeah. I mean, and I know, there's some others coming, and I'm looking forward to meeting those people that we don't know, because the Sooner family, Rob and I have talked about it before off the air here, and Teresa and stuff. The coolest thing about this podcast that we never expected was the friends we've made because of this podcast.
Right. Some great people.
Just great people. I mean, if you'd have told me 2 years ago that some of my best friends now would be from California, Arizona, we got Brett Conway from Arizona, Houston, that people, it's just the coolest thing that Sooner fans from all over the place, and now that I consider them great friends, it's just really a cool thing.
Yeah.
Something I never even thought about. So,
well, I mean, we're Sooners, and we know that Sooner Nation is a conglomerate of just outstanding, smart, funny, intelligent people.
Yeah.
so I mean, it's a go figure type situation.
Yeah, and a little bit crazy, but we're gonna have the over under on whether or not we got to carry Dan out on Saturday night. So we'll start that betting pool.
Is he bringing his wife? Because if not, then I'm gonna go with the over on that.
I'm not. I think if I remember right, his wife and I think his daughters are going to be there too, because one of his daughters lives here, and I think one goes to OU.
If his daughter's going to be there, he's probably going to be a good boy.
No,
no.
Right. When he was at the Texas tailgate down there, his daughter was with him when he's doing the bottles of vodka off the giant ice cube. So I think they're kind of like, oh god, Dad's doing it again. So but we're still debating. We'll probably do a short podcast or a little podcast from there just to kind of promo it and let a few people talk. We're not going to do anything big. Main thing we want to do is an opportunity for fans to get together like this. You see it on Twitter all the time. Man, I wish we could all get together. Well, that's one of the things that we've decided that we're going to be that catalyst for everybody.
Yeah. We'll do that.
People on Twitter, you're wanting to meet people on Twitter. You got a spot. our tailgate. You got this Saturday, but every Saturday home games, come to our tailgate because I promise you, you will meet people from all over. We've had people from California, New Jersey, Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, California, Nevada. We had people from all over at our tailgate.
Well, there are Sooner fans all over the country.
Yep.
So I'm happy to.
All over the world. We know there is one in Tokyo, too.
Yeah.
In Japan.
So everybody probably knows that Terry shoulders the load on that, and I really appreciate it. But one of these days, I'm going to be able to get out there, and hopefully it's this year, and meet those folks and shake their hands because, it's just part of it that I really want to be part of. So.
Oh, there was a casualty this weekend I forgot to tell you about.
Okay.
I took out one of the canopies that we used for the tailgate on Saturday, and the wind just destroyed it. Uh-huh. So, got to get a new canopy for this weekend for the tailgate. So, but anyway, that's kind of where we're at. But let us be your source of meeting Sooner fans.
Right.
So.
And we'll be happy to shoulder that for Sooner Nation.
But
just doing our part.
Yes, yep. We're the little come to us Sooner fans, and we will let you meet everybody.
Don't forget to tip your waiter though.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it for today's podcast. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. Remember, we'll hope to see you Saturday night. Remember to go to Louie's on Campus Corner. Check out Dan, tailgateconnect.com. Anytime you can, anytime you're going to be out of town, you want to know a good tailgate, go to tailgateconnect.com. That's it for the day. Boomer Rob.
Boomer Terry.
Thanks for listening to the Sooner Football Fans Podcast. Sooner Football Fans Podcast is hosted by Rob Nixon, Terry Long, and occasionally Caleb Long. It is produced at the beautiful Podcast Palace in Norman, Oklahoma. Follow us on Twitter at SoonerFBFans and like our Facebook page at Facebook.com/Sooner Football Fans and visit our website at www.SoonerFootballFans.com to read our blogs and keep up with our tailgating activities. Boomer Sooner, everyone.